Are you a book lover or enthusiast? Do you need genuine and unique lifestyle products? Or are you looking for a place where you can find contemporary and a wide range of unique gifts for children and adults? Laterna is your go-to place for genuine and contemporary books and lifestyle products for wholesale and retail customers. We stock business books on management, leadership, financial success, entrepreneurship, personal development, and so much more. We carry children's fiction, non-fiction, educational books, CDs, and DVDs. We also stock Christian books on various themes such as church life and growth, spirit-filled living, love, sex, and marriage, to mention but a few. Laterna carries life and style books such as baby and child care, beauty and style, conception and pregnancy, crafts, and hobbies. We also carry adult, children, and teenagers' Bibles, educational toys, framed art, gifts, greeting cards, home and office fragrances, stationery, teachings, and lots more. Our stores are located at plot 1611 Adiola Hopewell Street, Victoria Island, Lagos. Online at www.laternabooks.ng. Laterna, your lifestyle hub for book lovers. For inquiries, call 0803 301 4462, 0809 525 3223, 0809 525 3484, or 0809 525 3485. Chat with us via WhatsApp on 0810 023 4441. You may also reach us on social media via Twitter at Laterna Books, Instagram at Laterna Books, and Facebook at Laterna Ventures.
Yeah, welcome to Laterna Ventures. Yeah. I'll do a brief introduction of Laterna. Laterna Ventures Limited is a leading literature and lifestyle product importation, distribution, and marketing organization in Nigeria, with a very strong and consistent focus on customer satisfaction. Laterna has grown from a Christian bookstore to one of the most reliable sources for Bibles, business, and Christian books, children books, educational toys, gift items, gift bags and wrap, home and office fragrances, music CDs and DVDs, teaching, stationery, and journals, and lately gone into musical instruments and Bluetooth devices. Laterna was established in 1996, and the company has remained in the forefront of educating Nigerians through provision of global best-selling books and children educational materials. With a global access to over 100 titles and several other products, Laterna is a supplier to other retailers in 33 states of Nigeria, including Abuja. So we are all welcome to this 53rd edition of our book club. Laterna book reading club started in just immediately after the COVID, and we just thought like we have to have a platform where people can still come together, to discuss books, while the COVID season was on then, and that was what the Laterna Book Club. So far we've done 62 sections, and this is the third edition. We started then with a book titled The Four Disciplines of Education by Mrs. Olumide. And then we had another one, What Every Man Wants in a Woman and What Every Man Wants in a Man. Is a two-book in one. And then the reviewer was Pastor Benga Folai. The third edition was by Dr. Abby. Abby Abraham, and the book was Eat This and Live. It's a book on health, diet, and exercise. The fourth one was by Dr. Ubani, and that was The Dichotomy of Leadership. That's a business title. The fifth one was by Pastor Mrs. Nkoyi of this present house, and the title was The 5 Love Languages of Children. The sixth was by Mrs. Lamide Balogun, and the title was The Diet Plan. It's also a book on health and diet. The seventh was by Mrs. Nana Odejide on Purpose Driven Life, a book on purpose, and the title by Requiring is a very good book. It's a classic. The eighth one was by Mrs. Fadeke Adepetu, and that book, little by little, the book on her experience. You know, very good one. We still have all these books available just in case you want to look at them and then just look at some for yourself and for your loved one. They're all available at Laterna. Then we have the next one was by Dr. Kechukwu Edenema, Outliers in the book by Malcolm Gladwell. One of his titles, very good book, and we still have that as well. And we still went on to Dr. Shola Folala, he's the pastor, and he read a book by Maxwell, How Successful People Lead. And then the next one was by Mrs. Udo Okonjo, Tools of Titan, a business book. And then we have African Farmer, the book on farming, and the title was Farming by Revelation. And we have Mrs. Trying to get the name now. Mrs. Olanike. She read it, and the video diet is a book on health and exercise as well. And Mr. Femi Edu read Obama's latest book, A Promised Land. And then the next one was by Pastor Olumide of the Covenant Nation. His title, and you read them, titled Jog Club, the biography. Jog Club is, I guess, the coach, right?
The manager,
yeah.
Manager.
So, and then we had the next one was by, do I have all of them here? The next one was Love.
For the love and family.
Sorry, so tired. Yeah, for the love and family. And then on and on till we got to the 62nd. Because of time, and I'm not able to read all of them because we are behind schedule. So to the 62nd edition, and that was the last one we had, was by Mr. Demola Adebule, Transformational Leader, and that is his own book. We read it, and we just had that last. So we are on the 63rd edition. So we welcome all of you to Laterna Ventures, and as I welcome you, I also welcome the presenter, Mr. Mukhtar Mohammed. Mr. Mukhtar Mohammed, welcome to this house. The personal finance coach, and his company, Finance with Mohammed, is a personal finance platform established to help people grow and change their mindset of finance. So let's welcome Mr. Mukhtar Mohammed.
Thank you almost yesterday. Today I'm a moderator. I think I've also talked about the book for years, and it's very encouraging. We just need to sometimes we have to thank Laterna Ventures. My story, my growth story, is not complete without Laterna Ventures. I think you may have started in 1996. Yes, buy book from Laterna the year 2000. Yes, 2000. I think I've been consistent. I don't think there's a month I don't come to Laterna to buy a book. So we missed Laterna. So this is a novel, very good idea. And I want to thank the management of Laterna Venture. You see, in Nigeria, it's very difficult to start a business. You know, I had to ask one of your staff one day, and I said, how do you survive? Because in my little years in Lagos, I've seen a lot of today, they are the talk of the town. We all go there to buy book. Tomorrow, they are gone. But Laterna seems to have grown. I mean, keep growing. I mean, I thought people everywhere, they're one of the best bookshops in Nigeria. I'm not saying it because one of the best bookshops in Nigeria. And I hope Laterna would have been in every state in Nigeria. I thank God the founder is here. So it's Laterna should be in every state. Oh, maybe in Abuja and in because sometimes I go to those places and I talk about that. Oh, you want this book? Oh, they see this book with me, and I say, I bought it in Laterna, and they say, where is it located in Abuja? And you're like, then you can order it, you can call the person, I can give you a number to call. I think Laterna is one of the best. So recently, I mean, some days ago, I drove through Ireland. There used to be a bookshop there. I don't want to call the name. And that bookshop was like my second bookshop after Laterna. So if I don't get that book in Laterna, I will get it in that bookshop. And I passed through there. And the bookshop is shut now. I mean, I thought trying to get somebody else. It's not my bookshop. Well done, and keep up the good work. With this new innovation, I think a lot of people are learning to read. So we need to read that. Read what is happening. Laterna always have books in spite of the economic challenges. And these books are not produced here in Nigeria. And they still try as much as possible to get us the latest book with the FX challenges. I don't envy those people that are in business that depend on FX these days. But Laterna, I mean, sometimes you go to Amazon and I see a book. And I was like, call someone like, do you have this book? I'm saying that. Okay. So it's a good name. Thank you so much, Laterna. At least for me. God. Okay, today, I was so excited that when Auntie told me that I would moderate, and he told me what I was going to moderate about artificial intelligence. I've been thinking of artificial intelligence. My children keep teaching me artificial intelligence, keep telling me what will happen in 10 years from now. And I was like, I mean, if I'm here 10 years, and I'll still be here 10 years. I mean, if I don't start it, I will be lost. And when they said, of these days, when I come to Laterna, I go and I'm looking for a book on artificial intelligence. I don't want to be lost. So when they said I was going to moderate artificial intelligence, if it's a book on finance, especially any financial book I have not read, for artificial intelligence, I had to read. I read very well at the beginning. I must read 1 hour a day so that I will be able to be on top of the game. So that has helped me to know more about artificial intelligence. But today, we have an expert. I've gone through his profile. And I was like, wow. I just told him, I said, he's very intimidating. Because when you say doctor, it's not only doctor, and I begin to ask myself, when will my name have doctor beside it? But very soon. So our reviewer for today is Dr. Olumide Odejide. I don't want to get it right. When I hear Orlando, I was like, were you born in Orlando, Florida? Or are you the son of Orlando? Because at least we know that. Okay, we'll talk about that. But Orlando is the managing partner of A4S and training height. He's also an ISO management system auditor. ISO. When I tell you my story on ISO, you will laugh. ISO governance, risks, and compliance auditor, enterprise architect. You can see the profile. You see what I said? Programming director, trainer with over 23 years experience in the field of management, consulting, computer and information technology delivery. You can see we have the best one for this. And what I'm excited about, often when you see this profile, when you ask where did they do it, in London, the UK, I mean in the United States, in Paris, Hong Kong, Singapore. I start to say, how does it relate to us here in Nigeria? How does it relate to Africa? But in his own profile, he has worked to support over 1,000 clients in West and East Africa. So he's a son of the soil. And presently help organizations adopt and adapt international standards and best practices for business and information technology. Please help me welcome Dr. Yes. Do you want us? Okay, with a pleasure. Okay, thank you. Which of them is better? Okay, it's fine. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. The wonderful presentation and the opening. Indeed, it's my pleasure to be here. So I'm extremely happy and excited. So let me debunk some of the things that you said earlier. First, thank you very much for having me. I have been. So when you said 1996, I was telling my assistant, I said that means I was already buying from you maybe just 2 years after you started, because I remember I used to come to buy CC Winer's CD, the BB Winer's CD, and I was an undergraduate in Ife, and that must have been about 98 specifically. In fact, bought so much that they now advised me that I should open an account rather than just buying in my name. And I'm certain that that account, I know it still exists because I still bought some months ago, and I'm certain must have opened that account about 2000, about 2001 when they were doing was that millennium thing that we were doing around that time. So I should actually get like an ID card of some sort here. But I've been here for a very long time. Yes, but I mean, I'm 100% certain. In fact, when I'm thinking about it now, there was a slim lady that used to work here. I got in her name, I'm sure if I check on my phone. And we're doing a course together. And I mean, that's how I knew her. So I'm definitely 97 or 98 that I've been buying books from CD. And in those days, it wasn't books. I don't think I was really interested in books like that. So then it was primarily CDs that I used to come to buy here. The Fred Hammond CDs, Craig Franklin, because he had original CDs, and I mean, they didn't have to buy the one that somebody had created somewhere. The people come to collect mine to duplicate. So he had original CDs, and they didn't cost an arm and a leg. So my preference was to just buy the original CDs directly from here. I'm certain if I still check somewhere in my house, I'll probably still find some of those CDs. So once again, thank you very much for doing an excellent job. He said he's one of the best. I can put my money on it. You're definitely the best bookshop. Right? So if that was the competition for bookshops, you will win because you'll be 30 years old in another 1 or 2 years as T. So, and I don't know any other shop that has been consistent for that length of time. T. So, big well done. Thank you very much for staying true to this noble cause, because if you really want to make money, I'm not sure that bookshop is the best business. If your objective is that you want to make money, I'm not sure bookshop is the best business to be in. So this is probably part ministry on the other hand for you. So maybe you definitely do ministry on one hand. This is the extension of your ministry on the other hand. So thank you for keeping this up, and to all the great people who work with you. In those days, there was just a handful of people, and now you pretty much have an entire army working here. So once again, well done, sir. Bless you and every other person that is working with you in this organization. Thank you very much. All right, so I'll try to make this very quick because I'm very mindful of the type of people. Some of the people that are here, they're executives. Some of the people that are online are also executives. So, I mean, if you have executives sitting in front of you, then you don't want to take too much of your time. You want to be a straight shooter, hit it up, and that will be it. And thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. I only get to hear of you on radio and TV, so now I get the pleasure to be in your presence. So once again, thank you. So I'm going to talk about artificial intelligence generally. That's where we'll start this conversation, and I'll just zero in one of the books. There are actually a lot of books that you have here, and I think I have about 3 of them. And I mean, the first thing I'm going to tell everybody is that it's not late for you to get into artificial intelligence. In fact, there's no better time than today. And if I were you, and I'm seated in this audience, either I'm an individual, I'm a professional, I'm the one on the business, I'm an executive in an organization, in whatever capacity that you're here, one of the things you want to do for yourself as a person for the year 2025 is to become some kind of artificial intelligence expert or specialist. So you should write that down. What's that thing that people do on the 31st night? They make a resolution, right? Being making a resolution on the 31st, the guarantee that you are not going to follow through with it. So let me tell you, the best time actually to make a resolution is probably on the 30th of September, right? So that gives you time to get into it. If you miss the 30th of September, the next one should be the 30th of October. That's a good time to make a resolution. If you miss the 30th of October, the next one is the 30th of what? Of November. So whatever it is that you're doing as a person, the year 2025 for yourself as a business owner, as a manager, as an executive, in whatever capacity, the first thing you should take out of this room, everybody, is that you need to become some kind of artificial intelligence specialist or expert. Send a message to yourself, send a WhatsApp to yourself, send it to somebody who's going to hold you accountable that I need to really get on top of artificial intelligence. I can tell you as a business, for example, I can tell you as a business, in the year 2025, your business has to learn how to leverage artificial intelligence. Laterna Bookshop as an organization needs to learn how to leverage artificial intelligence for the growth of its business. And it doesn't matter what the discipline you're in, whether you're an accountant, whether you're in customer service, whether you're in HR, or whatever the role you have, you as a person, you must be on top of artificial intelligence. There is the applicability of artificial intelligence in all sorts of roles. So once again, whether you're a medical doctor, you're a nurse, it doesn't matter. You have to become very good when it comes to artificial intelligence. In fact, I saw a course online, and maybe you can check on your phone, everybody. I think it's available on the portal or something called Cursive, like COURSIV, something like that. It says artificial intelligence for people over 40. I started laughing. They said that it's like a 30-day, maybe somebody might find it online, right? It's like a 30-day challenge, or like a 30-day program that says that, you know, if you're above 40, these are the artificial intelligence tools that you need to be on top of. My primary the purposes. My number one set of clients everywhere, they're banks. I'm fortunate to work for every bank in the country and also in Ghana. There is no bank, I'm telling you, that does not have a strategy document that is not thinking about the year 2025 and is not thinking about how do we leverage artificial intelligence to be able to grow and expand our bank. It doesn't exist. There's no insurance company that is not thinking along those lines. There is no fintech organization that is not thinking along those lines. So you too is an assignment for you that how can I improve my work with using artificial intelligence? And we're going to do a very simple exercise. Everybody pull out your phones and let's use the artificial intelligence capability that is on WhatsApp. I mean, at least that's one application that we all have, right? And so let's go to it and let us type. You type what is specific to you. If you're in HR, you need to type into it and say, how can I leverage artificial intelligence in my HR career? Everybody, if you're in HR, if you're the business owner, you can put, how can I leverage artificial intelligence to ensure that my bookshop will grow? How can I leverage AI to ensure the growth and the expansion of my bookshop? You can say to AI, the one on Meta, which we're looking at now, you can say, how can I use AI to improve customer service in my organization? You can say to it, whatever it is, I want it to be very specific to you. What is your concern? Mr. Mutto here is going to say, how can I use artificial intelligence to increase how well I'm doing personal finance, so that my personal finance consulting firm becomes global? Ask now. I want you to do it. We said that these artificial intelligence is becoming like but it's like some kind of because of the I think that's better. Absolutely. Thank you very much. It definitely has something in store for you. And there's so many things that you and I need to be on top. There's so many free courses that are even available online. You cannot afford to go into the year 2025 without a personal AI strategy. So you need to ask yourself, what is my personal AI strategy and roadmap as a person? What is AI going to do for me, do for my role, do for my business, do for my career as I go into the year 2025? Maybe you should ask AI, that my assistant is here. Maybe you should ask AI, that how can I become a much better assistant so that I don't fire her, so to speak, right? That how can I ensure that, I'm optimal with the work that I'm doing? Because we can't cover everything in this room, and we can't even get to its head of it. We're organizing some training classes in my organization, pre-training classes. We've already planned one for the year 2025 that is technical. Then people started asking us, then what about us that are not developers? So we also said we're going to run something called artificial intelligence for business analysts. I can bet you that once again, each of us needs to have an AI strategy, your personal AI strategy and roadmap for the year 2025. You will thank me for this particular thing. Just go look into it. And down some of the things that it's telling you. And worry item towards it. We have to come back sometime around the same time next year. After 1 year, where this organization, Laterna Bookshop, would have put together an AI strategy and executed it. And you, all of you that are here, will take a picture and make sure that we'll then come back next year and ask Mr. Mukhtar, right, sir, maybe at that time we will need a private jet to bring him back, because by that time you would have expanded his business across the whole of Africa. You will be too international, so we'll have to get a jet to bring him here. And I'm telling you that AI has something in store for all of us. Are we good? Is this only for banks? Does it have something for me? Like a simple officer in an organization, a simple person in admin. If you're in sales or you're in marketing, you can ask, how can artificial intelligence help me do better marketing? How can it help me meet my sales target? What do I need to do? There's even something around how to train the prompt so that you can ask even better questions from the prompt. There is a free training that I always recommend. Everybody, open your phones again and just type something called, what's that one called? MSI, right? It's free online. MSI AI, something like that. See whether you can find MSI AI prompt training or exam, something like that, very quickly. MSI AI training, something along those lines. Did anybody find a free training? Anybody online? Can you respond very quickly? Can they respond in the chat room? Everybody, pull up your phones. It's a brilliant training. It'll take just a couple of hours and you will do it, and it's for free. It's international. I didn't create it. I don't even know the people that created it. But you will find that brilliant, and it's a brilliant thing for you to start. Did anybody find it? Anybody? Did you find it? MSI AI prompt exam or something like that. Did anybody find it? Anybody? On Google, did you find it? Free training, right? You can go online and just open the browser and you can show it to everybody, right? I need to hear from one of the people online. Did you find it? Because we're going to look at some of the books that are in this organization, and we're going to look at what can we learn from the books, and we're going to look at one of them. But at the end of the day, the real objective behind this meeting is how can artificial intelligence add value to my life as a person? How can it add value to my business? How can it add value to my role? How can it help me to be able to better deliver on my responsibilities as a person? Can I, has anybody responded online in the chat room? Did they? MSI? And you can check for it online and you can share with them. Mr. Mukhtar, did you find it? Can you just tell? Did anybody find it? And if you found it, can I see your hands up? MSI free training prompt, MSI AI prompt training or exam, something along those lines. Did anybody find it? Some people have found it, and it's great for you. In fact, in my organization, I needed 100+ people, all of them to take it, because at least it's like what I would say is your first step in that particular journey. Now, right, good. Let me move on very quickly. Somebody said, thank you very much. Remileko, who is that?
Remileko Williams.
Remileko, thank you very much. And that's useful for everybody, right? You can send me a Christmas card later. Quickly, to roll up my presentation very quickly. I'll speak very quickly about it, and then we can take it. We'll have some time for questions. The other thing is that I want to call myself an expert. In comparison to some of the people that we have here, I'm actually in kindergarten when it comes to artificial intelligence, because one of this book that we're going to be looking at, these are the real AI experts. So you're using the word expert, and the grade is between 1 and 10. I am firmly on level 1. Did you hear that? I am firmly, right? I am firmly on what? On level 1, right? On a scale of 1 to 10. So the word expert really should not be used next to my name when it comes to artificial intelligence. And we're going to look at this book. And the book really is about the experts. It talks about what some people have done and the contribution of some people to artificial intelligence. In fact, there's somebody that is called the godfather or the grandfather of artificial intelligence, and it's a brilliant book. One of the things I'm also going to enjoy, you should have your AI library, and don't have a library for library's sake, right? There's a guy that I met, he said he has a book on everything, and I asked him, I said, have you read some of them? It's useful to read the books that you buy. Do you understand? Otherwise, you start to collect books like the way people collect arts, and it shouldn't be. So it's good for you to buy the books, but it is even more important, or that thing that they say it's important, am I right? For you to actually read some of those books. So we're going to look at this, some people, and you will see how a lot of people in the universities and in those schools of higher education, they do the kind of research that brings all sorts of models into place, and then you see where the industry looking for those people. That's how you will know that in Africa, our education is very knowledge focused. It is not skill focused. Everybody, did you hear that? The difference between what? Knowledge and what? And skill. Did you get that? In Africa, we're very knowledgeable. We have degrees. You meet one person, they have 3 PhDs in 3 different disciplines. Then you're thinking to yourself, you must have about 10 patents in the patent office. Then the guy has nothing like that. In Africa, you will see somebody who says, oh, I'm a 2-time professor or something like that. You're like, wow, somebody who's a professor? I mean, this guy, the ground-breaking work that you must have done, the manufacturing companies and the communication providers would have come to take your research and then to be thinking about commercializing those things. And then you find out that, the best of their research is to publish a paper, and that's it. Like, it just ends in the publishing of the paper. So you will see when we go through the book, some of the people that these things, they're coming up with them from the university. And as they're doing them, the organizations that exist are going to the university to say, dude, we're going to buy you up. You can't work for anybody. All your research, all your code, all your paper, everything that you're doing, we're going to buy. We're just going to pay you forever. Some of those people, they pay them even in debt. Did you hear what they said? Like, they have a patent with them that their grandchildren are still being paid from some of those things. Once again, in Africa, we're very knowledge focused. We're not very skill focused. So people like to read. We read, we acquire many things. We acquire certificates, we acquire all sorts of things. But our hands-on, the things that we know in our heads, and our ability to translate those things into value for different industries is a big challenge. And so for you as a person, in your career with the work that you do, it's good that you seek knowledge, but it is even more important that you seek skills. And that's why you will see that people will leave Africa sometimes and they'll go to all sorts of countries. Then the guy has multiple degrees and it drives Uber. There's nothing wrong with driving Uber, but you'll find out that why are you not able to translate all the degrees into real valuable, tangible value to organizations is because they're very knowledgeable, but they're not very skilled. I've worked in the England at some point in time that even the person that I was reporting to, that was a partner in the firm, had only 1 degree. I can almost say it was half a degree as far as I was concerned. I was way more qualified than the partner in the firm, and I was an assistant manager of some sort by qualification. However, by skills, I was definitely in nursery school, and while he was a professor when it comes to the work. If you go to a lot of the big 4, the guys who are the partners, you will not see 10 degrees behind their names, but they've got really good experience. They've done mergers and acquisitions, they've done re-engineering things that have helped institutions. So once again, in your AI journey, in your personal AI journey, it's good for you to get knowledge, but more importantly, it's good for you to get skills. Did anybody find that course that says that AI for people above 40? Did you find it? And it's like a 30-day program for people above 40. Please check online, you might find it. Because if you find it, one of the things they've done in that course is that they put about 30 different applications that they expect you to know how to use. Can you see the difference? They didn't put 30 books alone for you to read. They put 30 applications they expect you to know how to use, because the focus is on skill rather than just the acquisition of knowledge. Let's quickly move forward, and I'll do this very quickly, as I said. I mean, they've talked about many people in the book. I'm not going to try to speak about all of them. Stop here for a second, right? I've got about 3 or 4 of these books. Actually, I have about 4, right? And I don't know whether Laterna still has all of them, but I know that I have about 3 from this from here. So you should have your own library. You should have your library of books. You know, things that you can, because when I'm reading, I work for organizations. I have to work for oil and gas. This morning I've had a meeting with a set of journalists that want to do something in a certain industry, and we're talking about how can we build an app, do something for journalists in insurance. This is today. They woke me up with that kind of conversation. People are thinking about how can they go to the next frontier. So you need to have your own library. As I said, from this place, I probably have 3 of these books as at today, or maybe 4 actually, that I have in my custody. They're all, but I know that at some point in time, all these topics have been available in this organization. You can go back. I mean, one of the first ones I got was the one on the Harvard Business Review, and it's good because it talks about AI, talks about a couple of other technologies, the genius makers that we're going to be looking at. In fact, if we had agreed to this, the one I really wanted to review is I Am Code. Once again, these are all books, and when I came in and I saw I Am Code, I said, this is great. So you need to build your own library. Once again, when I read, right, because I have to deliver value to somebody, I don't get paid just because I know things in my head. I don't know about myself, but I'm not a university lecturer, so I don't go to places and then people pay me just because I'm standing there. The organization is measuring, what are you going to do for us that is going to hit our bottom line? That's the way I get paid. So if companies don't pay me, my children don't go to school, right? They're going to become dropouts. Well, maybe they become Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg, that'll be fine. So it's good that you're reading these things. It's good that you're taking all these books into consideration. When you're reading them, it's important, or importanter, as the case may be, that you're thinking about what is the applicability of these things? How can I turn the knowledge that I'm gaining from these things and the things that I'm gaining, how can I turn that into actionable knowledge? There are also some free training for the people that are technical in the room. So if you're technical in the room, bring out your phones and type something called the Microsoft AI training, 12-week AI training, or online. Just do that on your phone. Microsoft 12-week AI training, you will see free, and it's for free. It exists online. So if you have some kind of small technical brain, right, online, or you're seated in the room, if you're one of these people that are very IT brain, start from looking at that Microsoft AI 12-week training. It's free, it's available, it's got videos, it's got sample code, it's got all sorts of things. You know, so I've made up my mind that the year 2025 is going to be AI year. You know what happened? Somebody came to me, somebody introduced one gentleman to me, and the man came and said, oh, they said you have a training school and that you've been doing this for a long time. He said, can you provide me with AI automation engineers? He said, I'm going to pay them in dollars. I looked at the man like this. He sent me the specification. I'm like, hey, where will I find this kind of people? And the guy said that if I can give him 50 people, did you hear what I said? He said if I can give him 50 AI automation engineers, that he will take all of them from me. He lives in the US. He has a business where he does that line of work, but he can't expand, and he's Nigerian. So he said he has an option to go to India, but that he really wants to do it in Nigeria. You know, I like my Indian friends, but if you work with a lot of Indians, you find out that, you know, Nigeria, we have an advantage. Do you know our advantage? Right? Apart from us being very smart people, right? Our English is better than the English of most. You don't know that? Whatever however we speak that English, it might not be anything Queens-like. Well, I'm telling you that the average English that we all speak and communicate with is better than what the typical Indian will communicate. So people who, if you're an American, wants to pass across technical information, there is higher propensity for a Nigerian to quickly understand what he's saying than for an Indian to understand it. An Indian doesn't speak English, right? So it's important that we take advantage of this. So some of these things that I'm telling you, it's for you to go back so that we don't leave this conversation at the level of theory or at the level of knowledge dispensation. It's important that we do theory. It's important that we do knowledge. But you and I have to make sure that in 2025, we've got to make some of the dollars. Are we together? We've got to ensure that we become some kind of AI automation engineer. I guess what the guy said to me, right? And this is the last thing I'll say about that. He said, yeah, he's interested in 16-year-olds. That means if you've got a 16, 17-year-old in your house, your cousin, your niece, your nephew, 16, I'm talking about 16 and above, they can learn artificial intelligence. Did you hear what I said? If you've got a 16-year-old in your house, they can learn artificial intelligence. They can become AI automation specialists at age 16. For me, I think I've learned that if you can pass WAEC, did you hear what I said? If you can pass WAEC, you can know AI. If you can pass WAEC, you can become an automation engineer. So if you've got a son, daughter, anywhere around you, and they're finishing SSC, or they need to become AI experts. And this is not for, we're not joking around here. We're talking about things that are really important, and all of us must take this. You better start texting your son. And instead of, I'm looking at my son, he's in SS3. And I'm like, I have plans for this boy. He himself doesn't even understand, right? Because it's almost like I'm just thinking about he says he wants to become a lawyer. I said, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you not to become a lawyer. But you will become an AI specialist, then a lawyer, right? You will first become an AI guy before you become a lawyer. Because it's very important. And because you can learn AI in whatever industry that you're in. And once again, you need to equip yourselves, and you need to ensure the next year you have a real plan. Let me move on very quickly so that I can quickly round up. Okay? I'll rather us have a lot of conversations, right? Please move on with the slides very quickly. Alright? So this is what, can you help me take that thing off, right? Now go back, right? So
right.
Once again, now back, one more, now go back, now you're going forward.
Oh, sure.
Back. You need to go back. Back.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, good. And I'm trying to take the jargon away from this, everybody. I'm right, and I will talk to you about the technicalities involved, because that's what. Remember what I said in my office. Now we have a training next year for artificial intelligence. We even have a session this evening for AI for military today. Today, 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, we're going to be doing an internal meeting around some of the tools and some of the things that we're doing. And remember that I said that there's a technical side to AI, the data modeling, the data engineering, some of those technical areas. But there's also a non-technical side to it. So don't look at yourself and say that I'm not IT, I can't do AI. No, you're wrong. That's not true. There is a portion of AI. There's that thing. Please, everybody, pull up your phones and say, let us ask AI. Everybody, let's do that quick exercise. How do I become an AI business analyst? Very quickly. How do I become an artificial intelligence? I'm hoping the people online are also with me. How do I become an artificial intelligence business analyst? And of course, the people like Pastor that are executives, you can ask, how do I become there's a course that they're doing in Harvard. It's called Artificial Intelligence for Business Executives. Artificial Intelligence for Business Executives. Trust me, you don't have to go to Harvard. Trust me, Harvard is on your phone. Harvard is online. You don't have to even buy the ticket at all, right? There are also courses on Coursera. Can anybody look for a course on Coursera for me? The people online? Something that says artificial intelligence. Just check on Coursera. Artificial intelligence for business managers or business executives. Check if there's a course like that on Coursera. Artificial intelligence for business executives or business managers. Because all of us don't have to be technical to do artificial intelligence. All of us don't have to be developers. All of us don't have to be people that are completely into the technicalities. Did anybody find anything on Coursera? The people online? Because you have to really do this appropriately. And I can talk to you about artificial intelligence, how it comes down to machine learning, comes down to neural networks, comes down to deep learning or generative AI, like the ones we're using on our phone, that is generating responses and answers to the questions that we are asking. So you can see that if you just take this diagram in your phone, you will see that artificial intelligence is a broad book. I will share the slides with you. If you're in the room or you're online, the slides are available to share it with you. It's not a secret. It's not out of this world as it is. Right? So there's some technicalities involved, but there's also the non-technical side of artificial intelligence. And the non-technical side is the thing that makes you some kind of business analyst, some kind of business executive who really understands artificial intelligence. Are we together? So this is important. Generative AI as a subset. So I mean, once again, everybody look at it from the biggest buckets in there. Broad artificial intelligence, machine learning, neural networks, deep learning, and then generative AI. And I like this diagram because it shows some kind of progression from the thing, broadly speaking, to the specifics. Once again, Microsoft has a free course. It's a 12-week free course. It's available on generative AI. Everybody check. A 12-week free course on generative AI. So there's a free course on AI for 12 weeks. There's another one on generative AI. And generative AI is a specialization of artificial intelligence. All right, let's move on very quickly so that I can round off. So the book is a great book, right? I can talk about the book all day, but go ahead, just move on very quickly so that I can just zero in on a couple of things. One of the things about the book really just talks about the people who started this. And I think I have a slide somewhere, right? Okay, good. Stop here. So, when artificial intelligence is not new, it's been around for a long time. And one of the things that the book emphasizes is that some people are already coming up with things, and then even in the intellectual society, they're telling them that, dude, you're not a serious person, and you don't know what you're doing. Now, what you're talking about is never going to see the light of day. That's the interesting thing about the book. So, when some of these guys were thinking and working on artificial intelligence in those universities that they belong to, they were telling people in the academic community, and those people were telling them that you are not well, right? It's like, in IBM, the story is that somebody came and told them that, we want to make the best set of computers will take a room like this. Can you imagine? We'll take an entire room like this to have computing capacity. And somebody said that, we want to be able to put computers on the tables of everybody. And then one of the executives of one of the big organizations said, why would anybody want to do that? Right? Because in now Miles' mind, what you're saying doesn't even make any sense. Now, why would you want everybody to own a computer? A computer is meant to be something that should take a building. But look at it today. You and I have computers inside our pockets. Who knows? At some point in time, we might have it. It's like some kind of chip that we might embed in our nails or something like that. That's one of the things about the book. Is that, when this guy started and they were telling people in the academic community, people said that you're not well, that what you're talking about is never going to see the light of day. But today, everybody talks about AI. You never find any technology provider that is not embedding artificial intelligence inside of what it is that they have. The other thing about the book, it talks about the fact that this artificial intelligence, Nigeria has an artificial intelligence strategy. Everybody pull up your phones very quickly and see whether you find it on Google. Nigeria as a country, in this Tinubu administration, we have a national artificial intelligence strategy that the minister Bosun and the scheme they've come up with. It's available online. So that means even as a nation, we're thinking about artificial intelligence being embedded in every area of our country in itself. That means they're thinking about the adoption of artificial intelligence in health, in education, in transportation, in every fabric of the entire industry. It's available online. As I said, this is not a joke. Your artificial intelligence is how your children will go to school. So you better really understand what this is. Sure that you take advantage of it. If you move on very quickly, once again, the thing I was going to say is that we talk about artificial intelligence because it can also be for evil, terrorism, cyber terrorism, every kind of evil can be perpetrated using artificial intelligence. It's like the internet. Together, it's like the internet. The same way you and I can get good out of the internet is the same way you can literally using the internet. You can become anything using the internet. Anything at all. I mean, I was watching something. What's that lady's name? Simi that makes music, right? They said, how did she learn? She said she learned it through YouTube. Do you know the number of things people have learned through YouTube? They were asking one guy who is like a big American football player. They said, how did he learn it? He said from YouTube. He said he learned the practice of the game from YouTube. The same way you're doing that is how some people are using YouTube to make bombs, so to speak, and then they're going to kill themselves on to kill. It's barely anything. They said, Simi was first a musical, what's that thing called? The producer, even before she began to sing, right? And once again, these things are very important. I can talk about this all day, but the key thing here is that there's a lot that you and I can do with it. And the people who created this in themselves, they've taken all those things into consideration. Let me talk about 1 or 2 or 3 of these people, and I'll stop, right? Quickly move ahead, right? Quickly just move on. I don't want to actually, go ahead. Go ahead. This is the writer of the book. And if you're a journalist, or you're a writer, or you're in social media, you have any specialization, because that's what the writer, you've not passed it, right? That's what the writer has done. This is somebody who's a journalist, but now he's a specialist journalist in the area of artificial intelligence. So if I were a moderator, I'll become the #1 AI finance analyst in this country. I'll have an objective like that, and you will see that is a niche that nobody's probably even exploring. Right? So that's one of the things that he's done. Quickly move on very quickly. Let me just talk about 2 or 3 of the guys, and that will be it. Very quickly. Keep going. We'll just go to where you have the pictures of some of the guys very quickly. Okay? Okay, you're losing me the way you're going around it. This is the writer. Now move forward. Right? This is the writer. Right? Great guy. Keep going. Right? Keep going. Good, stop here. This is the person that they call the godfather of artificial intelligence. And Jeffrey, as I said, when he started this work, everybody thought he was crazy. Right? And this is a university professor. And these guys are not even allowed to work for other people. One of the guys is completely bought by Facebook, right? The other guy is by Google. Because those organizations are not going to go anywhere without these kinds of experts that are doing this. And the book talks about many of them. He's one of those people, but he's a great guy. You can even go connect to him on LinkedIn. And there's a professor from Oxford, and he's done the ground. He's the one that they call the godfather of artificial intelligence. And once again, because of my time, I will go through this. Move to the next person very quickly, right? I don't have time. I've done more work here. This is also one of the guys, and he's once again, these people can't even work for anybody. Facebook, Google, and all these kinds of organizations are completely dependent on the great work that these guys have done. And these are people that have come completely from academia, and now all the research that they've done and everything that they've done is now being used. So that AI that you and I are using on our phones comes directly from what the work that some of these guys have done. Move on very quickly, right? This is also one of them, and I think I want to get to the lady. Go ahead. And I was even looking at her on LinkedIn. This is right. I think you go ahead. All right. I was looking at her on LinkedIn, and these are people that they're human beings. They're not dead, right? They are alive as of today, and the work that they're doing, you and I are gleaning and learning from them. They still talk about many people, just like Elon Musk. We were even looking at Sam Altman. They said that if he does what he wants to do with OpenAI, it's going to value the 7 trillion. He'll probably be the richest. He'll probably be the richest man in the world. Those are the people who formed OpenAI that has now been adopted, and you and I get ChatGPT and some of those things that we're using for these things. I don't think I need to say more than that. Thank you very much, everyone.
Doctor. Yeah, but actually challenge me. So which I will be. I have all the AIs. I have them to import them. I ask them, I've been buying them. I just somebody, my son maybe had to ask me, Daddy, what is AI? And so I think I will get serious in it. So I'll make it my priority to next year. I must read AI book every month. Laterna, please keep giving us AI book. Thank you so much for that presentation. I know you have so much to give to us, but little time. But thank you once again. So it will be time for questions and answer. So we'll be expecting questions from the speaker here and those online. Please, moderator, if anyone has questions online, I think we'll take online. We'll take 3 questions online so that we're running out of time, and 2 questions here. So that we have 5 questions, so that we can take between the question and the answer. It will take it like 10 minutes to answer them. But since I'm with the mic, I'll be the first to ask you a question. And I think I've stylishly asked you that question. So I want to bring it to the audience. That's to tell you that between I'm reading AI. There are 4 waves of AI. There's the internet wave, there's a business wave, there's a perception wave, and there's the autonomous wave. Now, globally, where are we? Okay, can somebody bring me the second one? Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah. So globally, where are we?
Look, the other question you asked me earlier is, what about Nigeria?
No,
I think definitely autonomous global.
Well, on globally. So I mean, we are getting to that point whereby my daughter keep telling me how she will buy a Tesla. But that's going to be her first car. The first car is going to be a Tesla, and she was not going to be driving it. They will be driving her. And she keep telling me every day, and it's fascinating that she goes to the internet and she tells me how much the Tesla costs. And I'll be looking at her and say, wow, you first of all buy for your daddy. And he asked me, this road in Nigeria, where will you drive it? So so we are getting to that autonomous area. Okay, now back to that question. In Africa, where are we in AI? Because you are a consultant in West and East Africa. Where are we in AI?
I would like to say we're still on maturity level 1 generally.
So we are in AI with 1 internet.
Absolutely,
we're still in internet. Wow. So no need to ask of Nigeria. That means we are still in internet. Because I think from what I got, Nigeria is one of the powerhouse of information technology. So we are still in AI. So you talked about that document by the Minister for Communication. And you see, that's one thing. This is the first time I'm hearing that there's a specific document on AI in Nigeria. So sometimes they do this thing, they don't take the information around. So if you are close to them, let them take it and let people know that there's a working document on AI, so that a lot of schools can begin to go into their curriculum. The school that my own children go to, they're already studying AI. They talk about coding, and that's where my daughter learned so much about how we drive and self and that. But if you go to public school, that's not obtainable up to this moment. And And how do you want them to compete? Please, I'm telling you because you're close to them. You should let them know. So those are my questions because I really wanted to know where are we? And I think you didn't have time to talk about it. The technology of AI, how it came to be. These guys were not, I mean, the guy in Canada, the guy that wanted, I mean, I think it was one of those big organizations that really wanted to take away that technology from him. They gave him some weeks to think about it. He was about taking a job and he thought about it again. He said, no, like, can you give me some time? And then he spoke again to Google. And at the end of the day, the other I think the Chinese company was going to pay him more than Google, but he decided to go to Google. He said because he felt that there he would have more opportunity to develop more. So for me, that taught me a lesson that sometimes it's not about the money, it's about the passion and what you want to do. Just like he said something about Laterna. He said he believed that Laterna Venture is standing today because of the passion, not actually the money. But I know that RM is making money too. And then it's making money. Just I know RM is making money. I can still be he's paying these people money. I've seen them, all of them. He will make money, or will begin to pray that he begin to make more money. He's making money, will make more money. In Jesus' name. So any question from the audience or online? Yeah, okay, thank you.
Good afternoon. Please, there's a question in the chat.
Okay, there's a question in the chat, right?
Yes, please.
Some weeks back, we saw that some banks said they were changing their banking app and all of that. And we saw the discomfort that majority of us experienced. What I would like to ask is, you talked about sensitization and awareness. I wouldn't know what you are doing or what you can do to bring more awareness, or maybe in conjunction, in collaboration with the government and some private organizations that may be interested. Because the truth is, it has come upon us, and whether we like it or not, it has come to stay. So we can only try our best to put things in place. So I would want to know what you are doing or your organization is doing in collaboration with government and private sector to bring more awareness and to train people. Because even this app, some feedback we got even from staff of feedback is that they themselves, they've not even really been trained on how to use some of these things. So that's why when a customer reaches out to them that I'm experiencing this, they really do not even have answers to give to you because they are also not knowledgeable about the workings of all of these things. So I would like to know, sir.
You ready? Hello. Let me answer before the questions become too many for my limited AI brain to remember. Okay, so let me quickly answer. Right? So number one, Nigeria is not there yet. So once again, it's two things, right? You go to where the people are not wearing shoes, right? And you say the people are not wearing shoes, so what's the point? Am I right? And you don't bother trying to sell shoes to them. Or you go to the people and you're like, wow, nobody's wearing shoes here. That means they're going to need a lot of shoes in this particular environment. If you're looking to do anything that is going to be revolutionary in AI, you better sit in Africa. That's it. You're not going to go to Canada to do anything that is very important. Your market is in Africa. So you need to start to think about it. How can you use artificial intelligence to help you to export or to do many things? I was saying to him that artificial intelligence and its application in personal finance, he doesn't want to go to do that in the US. He'll have too many people that are already doing that. So if he wants to do it, he should go to Cameroon, he should go to Ghana, he should be here in Nigeria, he should go to Kenya, because that's where the market is. So if you're really thinking about artificial intelligence and how to make a difference and hopefully make a profit, and then also do some societal good, you better be thinking about Africa, its application in our agriculture, in our electricity, in our health system. It's endless on one hand. So that's answer number one to the Nigerian side of things. Number two also is from the publicity side. We're doing as much as possible. So once again, the Laterna is doing this, and we're doing AI in here. Is part of that publicity. It's already happening. So this is going to go to a lot of places. A lot of you are going to walk out of this room and you're going to take the message further. There's the ethical use of AI in itself, and there's also the adaptability, or the, should I say, the adoption is probably the better word when it comes to artificial intelligence. And we've started this journey today for some people. I can imagine that you're taking it even further up to now. I know the government is doing a bit every time, so maybe you need to follow NITDA on what they got on Instagram and Facebook. They're doing a lot. Are they doing enough? Maybe not, right? But when it comes to them trying, they've just started. I mean, the AI strategy is not even a 1 year old document yet. So you can imagine that it's still at its infancy in terms of the publicity, the sensitization, and the adoption. Now, let me come to the last thing, which is really around change management, information technology generally. The problem with the banks and some of those things that they face is around change management, IT change management, organizational change management, and everything that has got to do with change management. So it's really how change is being governed and managed and midwifed. So if I take your example, you say even some of the staff, they don't know about some of those things. That's a problem with change management that is broken in that particular organization, and that's why they're having all those challenges. Now, change management is applicable everywhere. It's applicable to general information technology. It is applicable to artificial intelligence in as a specific area of work. So everybody needs to manage change appropriately. Even in Laterna here, they can't even change management between the former address and this place, because I went there and I was mad. All right, that you know what? Where are these people? I'm looking for you, right? And then I think maybe something had happened to the signage, and then one of the guys told me. Then I went online and I saw that they had a new address, and luckily the address was even somewhere where it's my existing client, because Inlex is my client, so I know the building very well. So I'm saying that concept of change management applies from many perspectives, and it applies to information technology generally, and also to artificial intelligence.
Thank you so much. You see, that's what I said. That has to go. So we are moving to permanent cycles. I hope you did that with plans.
Yes.
The not also be, Auntie Morgan. She has a big dream. Don't worry, I know what I'm talking about. So we'll reach them to have a building. So you don't just type Laterna building on Google Maps. It will be in BI.
Yes.
So that we can still be able to come. It will not be in the BI. Okay. I think you've answered that question. I think maybe you are satisfied with it, but I know that, like what he said, the Laterna venture, just which we have things like this coming up, talks about parastatals of government talking about things like this. It would have been good, and educational institutions, especially the public schools. I'm saying the public schools, because if you go to them, most of them don't even know anything about AI. They're letting most of them know privately is coding. And like I said, AI is wider than that. So thank you, but we still bank on you to talk to your people and to let them know that the first people that are bringing enlightenment is Laterna Venture. So if they need partner, they should partner with Laterna Venture, but it's not going to be free. Uncle Morgan, I'm advertising. So what's the first question coming? Is there any question online? Online. We don't have it. That means those people online are genius. They are genius. I like it. So do we have any question in the house? Okay. So
good afternoon, everyone. My question is there any control measures for people who want to use AI for fraud? Because we've seen different AI apps that somebody can just put my face on this, put somebody else's voice on the way, say something, meanwhile I'm not the one saying it. Then what are the dangers in using AI?
I mean, brilliant question. Thank you very much for that as it is. So once again, it's like the internet, right? So it's like saying, is there any control measure for the use of the internet? It has to be ethical. You know, all you can do is to, should I say, preach, encourage people to use the internet for good rather than for evil or for the negative side of things. So this morning, Australia, I think, is trying to ban below 16 from the use of social media, right? Like it's a bill. They're going to pass it that, and they're going to go to Facebook and tell us controls like you're below 16. I mean, that's almost that sounds almost ridiculous, right? That if you're below 16, you can't use a lot of the social media platforms. So once again, all these platforms, you can use it for good, and you can also use it for evil. Now, the thing you have to do as a person and as an organization, especially, is that you have to now protect yourself, because it's like everything that's fraud, right? Do you know most of the fraud cases, like you click on a link and then your money disappears from a Nigerian bank? Do you think the bank is going to pay you the money back? No, the bank is going to tell you that, well, we don't know what happened. Maybe you downloaded something, somebody your password. The bank is not going to take a responsibility for it. For you, organization, you also have to think about, how do I protect myself from fraud? That how can somebody, just mask my face or mask my identity and use artificial intelligence to the place? They will possibly even give you a token that will go to your phone. So it must be the fact that I've taken your face, I've collected your phone, I've also seized your mind before I can actually go through. So organizations have to protect themselves. And that's why some people keep preaching. And in this book, Indigenous Makers, one of them is advocating the ethical use of artificial intelligence, so that people are encouraged to use it more for good than evil. But once again, it's like the internet, it's like social media. Once it's out there, you're going to have good people using it, you're going to have evil people using it.